I quit my job at the gas station 3 months ago, and I haven't worked a night shift since. My name is Jake, and I'm 23 years old. For 2 years, I worked the graveyard shift at a Shell station on Route 9, a lonely stretch of highway about 20 miles outside of Portland, Maine. Most nights were quiet, boring even, truckers stopping for coffee, the occasional drunk college kid buying cigarettes. Nothing exciting ever happened. Until March 17th, 2024, the night that made me realize some people who stop at gas stations aren't looking for gas. This is my story. It was a Saturday night, technically Sunday morning by the time things got weird. My shift started at 11 p.m. and ended at 7 a.m. 8 hours of mostly nothing. The gas station was old, built sometime in the 80s. 2 pumps outside, a small store inside with a register, a coffee machine that never worked right, and aisles of overpriced snacks and motor oil. Behind the counter was a security monitor showing 4 camera feeds, 2 outside covering the pumps, 1 on the front door, and 1 facing the register from the back corner of the store. I was alone. I was always alone on the night shift. The owner, Mr. Paulson, was too cheap to hire 2 people for the dead hours. That night started like any other. I clocked in at 10:55 p.m. The guy from the evening shift, Marcus, was already grabbing his coat. "Anything I should know?" I asked him. "Nah, man, dead tonight. You'll be bored out of your mind." He tossed me the keys. "See you tomorrow," and he left. For the first 3 hours, he was right. It was dead. I sold 1 pack of Marlboros to a tired-looking trucker around midnight, restocked the beef jerky, cleaned the coffee station, even though no one ever used it. By 2 a.m., I hadn't seen a single car in over an hour. That's when the silver sedan pulled up to pump number 2. I noticed it on the security monitor first. A silver 4-door sedan, older model, maybe a Honda or Toyota, I couldn't tell from the grainy camera feed. It pulled up to the pump, but didn't stop at the usual spot. Instead, it parked at an angle, half blocking the view of the camera. Weird, but not unheard of. Some people just don't know how to pull up to a pump. I waited for someone to get out. No one did. The car just sat there, engine running, headlights on. I watched the monitor for a full minute. Still nothing. "Come on, man," I muttered. "Either pump or leave." Then, slowly, the driver's side door opened. A man stepped out. Tall, maybe 6'2" or 6'3", wearing a dark hoodie with the hood pulled up, jeans, work boots. He didn't go to the pump. Instead, he just stood there, next to his car, staring at the store. I felt a chill run down my spine. I couldn't see his face. The hood and the angle of the camera kept it hidden, but I could tell he was looking right at me through the glass windows of the store. I waved. He didn't wave back. "Okay, weirdo," I said under my breath. After another 10 seconds, he finally moved. He walked slowly toward the front door. The bell above the door chimed as he pushed it open. "Hey, how's it going?" I said, trying to sound casual. He didn't respond. He just walked in, hands in his hoodie pockets, and stopped about 3 feet inside the door and stared at me. I forced a smile. "Can I help you with something?" Still nothing. He stood there, completely still, just staring. I glanced at the monitor. His car was still running outside. No one else was with him. We've got fresh coffee if you want some," I offered, even though the coffee was definitely not fresh. Finally, he spoke. "You alone?" His voice was flat, emotionless. Yeah, just me tonight." I immediately regretted saying that. He nodded slowly. Then, without another word, he turned and walked down aisle 3, the one with chips and candy. I watched him on the monitor. He wasn't looking at the products. He was just walking, slowly, like he was killing time. My hand drifted toward my phone under the counter. After a minute, he came back to the front, empty-handed. "You need something?" I asked. He stared at me for a long moment. Then he said, "When do you get off?" Every alarm bell in my head went off. Not for a while," I lied. "My coworker's in the back. He'll be out in a minute." There was no coworker. There was no back room with another person. Just me. The man tilted his head slightly, like he didn't believe me. Then he smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. "See you later," he said, and he walked out. I watched him get back in his car. He sat there for another 30 seconds, just sitting, engine running, before finally driving off. I locked the door immediately. My hands were shaking. I pulled out my phone and almost called the police. But what would I say? A guy came in and asked weird questions? They'd think I was paranoid. I checked the cameras. The sedan was gone. The lot was empty again. I tried to calm down. Maybe he was just some weirdo. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe I was overreacting. I unlocked the door. It's a gas station. I couldn't keep it locked all night. An hour passed, then another. By 4 a.m., I'd almost convinced myself I was being ridiculous. Then I saw it on the monitor. The silver sedan. It was back. But this time, it didn't pull up to the pumps. It was parked across the street, in the empty lot of a closed mechanic shop, just sitting there, headlights off. I could barely make it out in the darkness, but I knew it was the same car, and I knew he was watching me. I grabbed my phone and called my roommate, Dennis. He answered on the fourth ring, groggy. "Dude, it's 4 in the morning. What?" "Dennis, I need you to stay on the phone with me." "What? Why?" "Just, please, something weird is happening." I told him about the guy, about the car across the street. "Call the cops, man," Dennis said. "And tell them what? A car is parked across the street?" "Yeah, if it's freaking you out this much." I was about to respond when I saw movement on the monitor. The driver's side door of the sedan opened. The man stepped out, and he started walking toward the gas station. "He's coming back," I whispered. "Jake, lock the door, right now." I ran to the door and turned the lock just as the man stepped into the light of the gas station. He walked right up to the glass door and tried the handle. It didn't open. He tried it again, harder. Then he just stood there, face hidden by the hood, staring at me through the glass. "Jake, what's happening?" Dennis's voice was panicked on the phone. "He's trying to get in," I said, my voice shaking. The man knocked on the glass. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. Knock, knock, knock. "I'm calling the police," Dennis said. "Stay on the line." The man knocked again, louder. Knock, knock, knock. "We're closed," I shouted, even though we weren't. He didn't leave. Instead, he walked slowly to the side of the building, out of view of the front camera. I switched to the side camera feed. He was trying the side door, the employee entrance. The one I forgot to lock. I dropped the phone and ran to the back. The side door was already opening. He was inside. I slammed it shut and locked it, just as his hand reached for the handle from the other side. He pounded on the door. Bang, bang, bang. I backed away, my heart racing. Then the pounding stopped. I stood there, listening. Nothing. I crept back to the front counter and checked the monitors. He wasn't at the side door anymore. He was back at the front, and he had something in his hand. A crowbar. He raised it and swung at the glass door. Crash. The glass spiderwebbed but didn't break. He swung again. Crash. Cracks spread across the door. I grabbed the phone. "Dennis? Dennis? Police are on the way. 2 minutes." "He's breaking in," I screamed. The man swung a third time. The glass shattered. He reached through the broken door and unlocked it from the inside. I ran. I didn't think. I just ran to the back storage room and locked myself inside. I heard the bell chime as he stepped through the broken door. I heard his footsteps, slow, deliberate, walking through the aisles. I crouched behind a stack of boxes, holding my breath. The footsteps got closer. He was right outside the storage room door. The handle turned. Locked. He tried again, harder. Then he started kicking it. Boom, boom, boom. The door shook with each kick. I pulled out my phone and texted Dennis, "Where are the police?" The kicking stopped. Then I heard it. Sirens. Distant but getting closer. The man heard them too. I heard him run. Out of the store, across the parking lot. A car door slammed. An engine roared to life. Tires screeched. And then, silence. The police arrived 30 seconds later. I stumbled out of the storage room, shaking, barely able to speak. 2 officers swept the store. They found the broken glass, the crowbar lying on the floor. But the man was gone. They checked the security footage. The cameras got a partial plate number. They got his height, his build, but they never got his face. The hood and the camera angles kept it hidden the entire time. They filed a report. They told me I did the right thing by locking myself in, but they never caught him. The owner, Mr. Paulson, installed better locks after that. A panic button behind the counter. He even talked about hiring a second person for night shifts, but I didn't stick around to see it. I quit 2 days later. I got a job at a grocery store now. Day shift only. I don't care if it pays less. I can't do nights anymore. I can't be alone in a building at 4 a.m., wondering who's going to walk through that door. But here's the part that still haunts me. A week after I quit, I got a message on Facebook from an account with no profile picture, no name, just a blank profile. It said, "You should have unlocked the door." I reported it, blocked the account, but it didn't matter because 2 days later, I got another message. Different account, same words, "You should have unlocked the door." I deleted Facebook, changed my number, but sometimes, late at night, when I hear a car pull up outside my apartment, I wonder if he's still looking for me. That was my story. If you've ever worked a night shift alone, you know how vulnerable you can feel. If you have your own story, leave it in the comments. I read every one. If this story scared you, or if you've experienced something similar, hit that subscribe button for more true horror stories every week. Stay safe out there, and if you work nights, always lock the doors.